We encounter in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, these words. And God said, let us make man in our image. And I'll stop right there. Everyone has their own opinion and interpretation of what exactly that means. However, there is only one interpretation. While there can certainly be several opinions, there is only one interpretation which is true. And we're going to get down to the bottom of that right now. In Hebrew thought, there's something called the cohortative verb. Everyone say cohortative verb.
Cohortative verb.
The cohortative verb, like the imperative, expresses a command, wish, or desire. A command, wish, or desire. It does not have to represent action. I'll give you an example. Right now, we have 15 people in the class. So in my book, we could fill up a 15-seater van. Let's say quarantine is over and we all meet up in a neutral city. And I rented a 15-seater van. And I say, come on, guys, let's go for a drive. Everyone gets in the van and I drive. When I said, come on, guys, let's go for a drive, that didn't mean everybody was going to actually drive the vehicle. Did that?
No.
We use this kind of language every day, by the way. Every day we use this kind of language. It's called a cohortative verb. It expresses a desire or a wish to collectively be involved in something that only one person is doing. It represents a desire or wish to collectively be involved in something that only one person is actually carrying out. Mm. With that thought in mind, let's now look at Genesis 1:26. It says, Vayomer Elohim, and God said, Na aseh Adam. Na aseh Adam. Na aseh means let us. And na aseh is what is referred to as the cohortative verb. Let me see if I could pull that up right now and kind of sort of prove it to you. That way you don't have to believe in me. I always say in the classes that we do, demonstration beats conversation. So I like everyone to fact check me literally live as we're teaching. So I try my best to demonstrate everything that we're saying. So give me a second to actually try to pull it up live in class right now to where you all can see it for yourselves. I could use Bible Hub. Genesis 1, let me get interlinear. Okay, let's go down to verse 26, and let's see how it's described. And God said, let us make man in our image. Notice I just hovered over it with my pointer. Does everyone see what it says? Mm-hmm. Verb, kal, imperfect, cohortative.
Okay.
Staring you right in your face. A cohortative verb is also known as a volitional verb. Volitional verb. The term volition is a fancy word for will or desire. Let me show you. Volition is will or desire, the faculty or power of using one's will. Now let's look up volitional verb. Volitional verb. Where the speaker suggests, urges, or initiates an act. Where the speaker suggests, urges, or initiates an act. A volitional verb is essentially a cohortative verb, as you can see the example. Let's eat. We will practice. Let's practice. It doesn't have to always represent an action that everyone is involved in, because it represents a will, a desire, or a wish, as everyone can see here where I'm pointing. So, to say it once more again, naase, as we all can see right here, that's the word naase. It tells us that it's a cohortative verb, and it's the first person, meaning God is speaking, and he says, let us make man in our image. So what is actually being communicated here? The Creator is expressing a desire that man be created with the same intellectual and spiritual qualities as God and angels. I'm going to say that all over again. The term naase, let us create man, is expressing the Creator's will or desire that man be created with the same intellectual and spiritual faculties and qualities as God and angels. Everywhere in the Bible where it says, let us, and God is speaking, you always see the angels present. So why do we assume this is the one place where they're not present? Even though they're present, even they are not helping God to create man, as a lot of people suggest the let us entails. It's a cohortative verb. The collective need not be involved. Just like when I say, let's go for a drive, and only I'm doing the driving. Let me show you it clearly now. How do we know for a fact that this is truly a cohortative verb? Meaning it's solely expressing a will or desire that man be created with the same faculty as angels and God. And not that someone participated with God in man's creation. How do we prove that? Simple. By reading the very next sentence. Look at that. Genesis 1:27, the very next sentence reads, first and foremost in Hebrew, Wa Yivre, and he created. Elohim, and Elohim created. Et Ha'adam, the man, Besalmo, in his image. Wa Yivre Elohim et Ha'adam Besalmo, and God created man in his image, singular. If there was more than one person involved in man's creation, so that the let us truly means there were other people helping God, the text would have read, so God created man in their image. But it does not say that. It says God created man besalmo. Besalmo. When the wav is at the end of a sentence, it's the masculine singular, meaning he, him, or his. It's also known as a masculine pronoun. He, him, or his. God created man in his image. Zelem is the Hebrew word for image. And by the way, some of you that follow me on Facebook probably seen this article too. Zelem does not describe anything that has a physical shape or form. So when we read image in English, we are missing out on what the Hebrew is saying. Because in English, image truly means that which has shape or form, i.e. a body. However, the Hebrew word zelem denotes characteristics and spirituality. So when the Torah says that God created man in his image, Besal Menu, it's talking about with the same spirituality, the same intellectual faculty and characteristics. That is the image that man shares with God and the angels on high. Powerful, powerful, powerful. This is why our language is so very important.